and breathe out to the count of 7. Remind yourself that you are enjoying a rare opportunity of being with 100 people, more than 100, who have experienced life exactly from your point of view. They have faced each and everything which you have faced. Even though they may come from different parts of country, different gender, different communities, different languages, but they all had your experiences. And so this is a community. You are communing with people who have similar experiences. Maybe they have the answers to the questions which you may be having today. And that is the real purpose of getting together here. Now, open your eyes, take a deep breath, and smile. So, first thing which I want to say that I am feeling a little nervous, and that is the reason I invited Vikas to be here with me. And I also want to announce that Vikas has done something which I could not do in last 20 years. He has registered TISA as a trust. And that is how now we are a legal entity. So if there's any police case, he will go to the jail. Before this, we were just a free association of individuals. We were just a public gathering of people. But now we are a legal entity, and that's a big improvement. And for that, I want to congratulate Vikas. I'm also a little nervous because I'm going to talk about a little bit abstract ideas. In fact, somebody has already started you all on this abstract journey of words like selflessness. Selflessness. What is selflessness and what is self? And how you become free of self? So I'm going to talk a little bit about these things. In fact, I also want to talk about the true founders of this organization. By the way, the new people here, do they know who is the founder of TISA? Wrong. This is what I want to rectify today. That this idea is totally wrong. I want to introduce you to the founders of TISA today, towards the end of presentation. But before that, I want to talk about what kind of organization is TISA. So, for example, next slide. So, what kind of organization is TISA? But before that, I just want to ask you, look at Apple, look at Ubuntu, Google, Tesla, all these organizations. And I know many of you are working with big organizations, you know all these names. So now you have to give us in one word, what is the character, the driving force behind these big names? And Vikas will help you. Yeah, so maybe anyone who wants to speak. Apple, Roy. Apple first.
Innovation, motive, to build something.
So then what I'll do, I'll just say the name and then you can speak loud, anything that comes to your mind. Over to
Open source.
open source. Yeah, sounds good. And Google. Search. Tesla.
Technology.
Nike.
Basketball.
Okay, as we are in Gujarat, so we can't forget Amul.
Co-operator.
May I add here something? Amul will always be known for cooperative movement in rural areas. Milk is only symptom. The real thing is Amul started cooperative movement in rural India. Am I right? Okay, so in the same way, what is the next slide?
Oh, sorry.
What about TISA? What is the one word which comes to your mind, which leaps into your mind when you think of TISA or talk about TISA or you? I'm very sorry, I forgot to stand up. When I get very excited and nervous, I forget about standing. So please don't mind. So, what is one word which comes to you when you think of TISA?
Acceptance. Community.
Coordinated and stammer freely and embracing your voice. Somebody said earlier in one of the sessions, selflessness. It is a big word and we need to unpack it. Because first of all, we have to be very sure and unanimous about what does self mean. So next slide. So when we started in 2008 and in fact even before 2008, the one idea which hit me was that TISA should be an organization where we serve others but don't expect anything in return. Because expectation and expecting in return was part of many other organizations at that time. There were plenty of stammering cure centers, there were stammering of other organizations, but there was always some kind of transactional in the nature with these organizations. And I thought that maybe we should do something different. Why at that time I thought of something different, I'll come to this toward the end of this presentation. But for the time being, let us say, serving others without expectation. At the first glance, it looks like madness. Who does that? All our life we have been taught that if you give something to someone, you should get something in return. Otherwise, why invest your time in this one-sided relationship? We've been brought up on this philosophy that life is two-way street. You give something, you get something. And if nothing else, at least you should be getting good karma in return. Even if I don't get any money from you, at least I've got a right to demand from God that give me good karma because I've cured so and so. I've run SHG. I've been going every Sunday to my SHG organizing SHG meeting. Give me some good karma. But in TISA, we are trying to go even beyond that. We are not even expecting good karma. We just want to give. So why? What is this great idea? Serving others without any expectations. And in fact, if you believe me, this is the USP of TISA. If TISA has become so attractive, this is the reason. The USP of TISA is not stammering. Because there are many other groups who are working on stammering, but they are not here. There is stammering cure center in Bangalore, there is a stammering cure center in Jaipur. Why have they not come here? Why? Because stammering is not our USP. Stammering is their USP. Stammering is their central focus. Our central focus is something different, and that is serving without expecting anything. That is why many of you, on your Sundays, instead of watching web series, you go to a SHG meeting. You organize a SHG meeting. You conduct some activities. You go to a shopping mall, you take some young people with you, you practice some stranger talk there. You're not wanting anything from that. You're not demanding anything from there. All of our volunteers are not getting anything. So this idea, serving others without expectations, that is our true USP or true unique character. So when you think of TISA or when you talk about TISA, that is the one thing which should come to your mind. Because tomorrow you can even go beyond stammering. Today you are running a SHG for stammerers. without wanting anything in return. But who is stopping you? After 1 month, you could be doing it for blind people. You could even go to a blind school and read story to blind children. So remember, TISA doesn't want you to stop with stammering alone, stammering itself. TISA wants you to become a true giver who doesn't stop with any category. You could work with people who are blind. You could go and spend some time with old folks' homes. You can go to old folks' home and spend some time there. And all these things will benefit you in some way or the other, even though you're not looking forward to some benefit. So now this serving others without expectations. What kind of quality is this? Is it a cognitive quality? Is it an intellectual ability? Is it that you have to have triple PhDs in economics and AI to do this? Because do you think you require a PhD in order to do this? No.
Nothing is. So just want to add one thing. Like say we just want to ask one thing. Ki, why do you love when you like when you do any of your hobby, be it like to draw something or to watch something or to dance? Why do you love it so much? Yeah. So like the main thing when you see it, when you do it, you neither expect some money that you will get, and you like don't expect any praise or reward. You are just doing it because you like love doing it only. So like the same thing I have seen being in TISA as well. When I work, like I take maybe a lot of pressure as I set the goals. That's really hard to meet heavy. But when I am in TISA, then I find a peace. Like I mostly say to my wife as well that like when I spend a time in TISA, then I just love doing it. If I'm having a lot of pressure as well or headaches as well, then it's really good. So I think the one thing is that if we don't expect anything, anything means anything. Neither you want some honey or praise or reward or certain. Okay, you are just like me. I just love doing it. This 1 hour, I just want to give. Just give from your heart only.
Thank you, Vikas. So I want to add more to this. That is ability to rise above our little self and our little expectations. I want to become popular, so I'll do this. Or I want recognition, so I'll do this. To rise above all these expectations and do something for the pure joy of it. This is a skill which is neither cognitive skill, it is neither an emotional skill, it's neither a social skill, it's not an intellectual skill. It is not that you have got a 200 IQ. That is why you can do it. It's not that you have done triple PhDs, so therefore you become very selfless. It can happen, and I'm not saying that it rules out that. You can be very intellectual and you can be very selfless, but it is not dependent on that. There is no causal relationship. So in the same way, it is not a physical skill. It's not that you go to gym every day, so you will become very selfless. So what is it? So there's a one word for that. I will call it. It's a spiritual skill. Next slide. So, for example, when you wash your hands, does your left hand thank your right hand, or should it? No. Why? Because your left hand knows that the right hand and the left hand, they belong to one entity, one body. It's the same awareness, same consciousness which is present in the left hand is present in the right hand also. That is why after washing your left hand never thanks your right hand. In the same way, when you are eating and swallowing food, your tongue is doing something, your teeth is doing something, and your teeth doesn't thank your teeth, your tongue doesn't thank your teeth, you don't thank your tongue, you just eat food and enjoy and become strong. So in the same way, when we realize that I and you are one, then I don't want anything from you in return for the time I give to you. This is the real basis of selfless seva. Selfless seva is not done because it is mentioned in the scriptures, because it is enjoined by Gita that you will do selfless seva, so therefore you are doing it. No. You do it when you recognize oneness in this multitude of humanity. When I see that Vikas and I operate from same basis, we have same consciousness, then I don't mind giving my time to him. Then I don't expect anything in return. So recognition of oneness, that we may look different, we may have different bodies, different minds, but behind that there is a presence, there is a space which is one. So when we recognize that oneness, then giving this selfless seva comes naturally to you. It becomes your natural behavior. Then you don't have to work hard at it. You don't have to learn it as a skill. Now the question is, where is this oneness we are talking about? So, for example, I asked will you be happy if I said you are only a body and mind complex? So it means that you think that you are something more than that. What is that more than that? How big is it? Is it 6 foot high, 2 feet wide? Has it got a dimension? No dimension? Is there a word for things which are not finite in dimension? Is there a word for this entity which you actually are? Say, for example, besides body and mind, you've got something called X. And you feel that I'm really this X which has got a body and mind. So now I want to know what are the dimensions of this X. Is it 5 feet high, 1.5 foot wide? Does it weigh 55 kilos? No. No. It has got no dimension, no finite limits. So can we call it infinite? So those of you who have studied mathematics, they should now think how many infinite can be present in this room? 2, 20, 110, or 1? How many infinite can occupy this space? I'll take an answer from a teacher. IIT Roorkee. How many pages can be here? No.
Don't know.
Actually, only one. So the thing is, so what I'm trying to say is this, that we all feel that I'm not with body and mind. I'm using this body and mind for the sake of convenience and for practical needs, but I'm a lot more than this body and mind. And interestingly, every night when you go in a deep sleep, when you don't dream, non-REM sleep, Dr. Saab must be knowing about that. When you are in that deep sleep, when there are no dreams, in that sleep, you get a glimpse of this Mr. X, which has got no limitations, which has got no finite dimensions, which is only one. And so if we believe that in truth I am that X, which has got no limits, then that X can be only one. It cannot be that truth has got an infinite presence, I also have got infinite presence, because also has got one. That becomes very confusing, and that becomes scientifically untenable. It is untenable. You can't sustain that. So infinity is one, presence is one, space is one, but it is being manifested from different point of views. For example, this room is one, but standing here, I am experiencing one view of the room. But somebody sitting in that corner, he is viewing the same room and getting a different view. So there are many POVs, point of views can be different based on the body which we occupy. But actually room is only one. So in the same way I want to say, we are oneness, we are one space, but we are experiencing this one space from different locations. And therefore, we have got different points of views. So therefore, my understanding of family could be different from groups. But basically, we are that one space, and that is why it makes no sense that if I give 1 hour to Vikas, I immediately start my meter. My meter is down. Now you have to pay me 500 rupees after 1 hour. This is the idea on which TISA is based. This is the idea which came to me in 2008, in fact, even before that. And the people who gave me this idea, they are the people who are the true founders of TISA. Next slide.
Especially in Hindi, maybe. 'Cause-
I can do that later
Okay,
on,
okay,
because
take
right now there are many people from, there are some people from Kerala, Tamil Nadu. So let us talk in English, but I can always give it to you in Hindi, and I will start my meter. For Hindi, there is a meter. So TISA is a spiritual organization. So what I'm trying to say by all these things, that when we started TISA, we didn't have this idea that TISA should capture 40% of the market, stuttering market. We didn't start with this idea that TISA should work so hard that all the family cure centers have to shut down their shutter. That these were not our business ideas, these were not our business models. Our ideas was very simple, that we are spirits, we are space. And so therefore it doesn't make any sense to charge people for that. People who are already suffering, charging them for, to help them is not a very worthy idea. So TISA is a spiritual organization. And if TISA is a spiritual organization, then who are you? Are you a political animal or economic being or a social creature? Who are you then? You also are spiritual beings. But being spiritual beings doesn't mean that you can't work in stock market. You can't do trading online. No. You can play all those roles. You are economic being because you you use ATM card, you earn money, you spend money. So you are an economic being also. You are a political being too because you have got your political opinions. Then you are a social being also because you spend time with others. So you are all these things, but underlying all this reality is that you are a spirit, is that you are a spiritual being. You are playing different roles. It's like a man who gets up in the morning, gives bye-bye to his wife, hugs his child. He's a father, he's a husband, he's the employee, he goes to the office, he greets his boss good morning or whatever, he does a lot of job. In the evening, he's doing some online trading. He's playing different roles, but he's one and same man. So in the same way, all of us are spiritual beings, and this is a spiritual organization. This is what I wanted to emphasize in this NC. Next slide. And these are the two people who are the founder of this TISA. I don't know how I sort of took up that position, but believe me, these are the people who inspired me a lot. And from them I got these, these ideas. So this guy on the left hand, his name is Sri Chandraswami Udasi. Chandraswami Udasi. He is not very well-known person, but when I met him, at one time I had this idea that people who are actually seeking something in life, they should not get distracted with social work and all that. So one day I went to him and I said, is social work a distraction? Should I continue what I'm doing as a social worker? I had this great doubt. I thought that I am spreading myself too thin. I'm trying to do something in social field also, and I'm also trying to seek something and do it in life. So he very seriously he said, no, no, no. Selfless seva. It has to be selfless. Selfless seva is a limb of yoga. It's a definite way of reaching your highest potential. Whatever you are seeking, you want to become divine, you want to become a realized master. Everything is possible through selfless seva. And so that inspired me a lot. And the person on the right, his name is Swami Gambhiranand. He was the 11th president of Ramakrishna Mission and Mutt. He's famous for translating lot of scripture into English, like Brahma Sutra, many Upanishads, Gita. He translated many Sanskrit scriptures into English, and he's a great scholar. And from him, I learned this idea of oneness, even though it's very counterintuitive. You are sitting there, I'm standing here, he's standing there. He's from Haryana, I am from Uttarakhand. He's a Gujarati, he's a Tamil. There's so many big differences. But still there is a kind of oneness, underlying oneness. And this idea I got from Swami Gambhiranand. So these are the true people, I mean, true founders of TISA. And so before I conclude, you might have a question that, okay, we have heard some wonderful ideas about oneness and selflessness, but how does one realize it in day-to-day life? Because life is transactional, so you deal with other people. Sometimes you have to charge them for something. I also work, I also try to earn money and spend money. So in our day-to-day transactions, how do we remember that there's a underlying oneness? Does anyone have any ideas on this? How can we remember this in day-to-day life? That there is an underlying oneness and we are different manifestations of that. We are right and left hand of the same body. And therefore we don't expect anything from each other, even though we serve each other very well. Any ideas on this?
Can you repeat your question?
My question is, we just talked about why visa doesn't grant any fees. So many people have advised me, you should be monetizing YouTube videos. You should have a registration fee for every workshop. But we never did that because we believe that there is a oneness and that oneness is manifesting through us. So right hand is through, left hand is touching. So why should I charge you money? And we also believe that so we organized a free workshop in Banwadi, Mumbai, sometime back. There was no fees at all. So we are doing all these things because we believe that under that, in truth, we are all one. We may be manifesting differently, but there is underlying oneness. But we forget it soon after we hear about it. So how do we remember it in day-to-day life? Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Actually, for oneness, we have to focus on the true spirit of the TISA. Actually, if I wake up early in the morning, so I have to call my friend who is from TISA and continuously be in touch with him, ask him what is his problem, and if I have any solution for him, then I will definitely give him the advice. So early in the morning, if I call my friend who is in TISA, then whole day I will be in that phase of oneness, and this is my interpretation of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good idea. So, anybody else want to contribute something? How can we be more aware of this oneness? Yes.
Maybe when we uh, as a body we are made up of many atoms, right? Hydrogen, etc. तो वही सेम एटम हर एक में ही है और जो भी मैं हूँ अभी वो सिर्फ मेरी ही वजह से बना है and people have helped me along my way from मतलब मैं बच्चा था बड़ा हुआ उस पूरे उसमें बहुतों ने मेरी मदद से ही मैं इधर तक आया हूँ तो आई थिंक और वही एक वे है कि जो जिससे मुझे वो शायद ये oneness का एहसास हो कि भाई औरों की मदद से मैं हूँ तो वो भी मेरी मदद होगी उससे और होंगे. So I think ultimately it is all one. I think it is one way of.
So now we will have it from this side.
Thank you so much. I just want to just summarize his answer. His answer is very good. He's saying that forget about spirit and consciousness and all that. Even at the material plane, we are one. The hydrogen which is in me, the carbon which is in me, 40, 50 years ago, that carbon was in somebody else. Then again, 50 years now, when I'll be dead and gone, these carbon molecules will be recycling in somebody else. So at that level also there is a oneness. We become separate only for a short while. Otherwise, it's the same pool of carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen atoms, which is recycling and remanifesting again and again as different people.
No, just to maybe add to what the thing that sir said. One is, also why TISA does not charge fee, I think it's very important to know that, sir, because when you start paying a fee, you start having expectation that you're going to get something, right? Whereas here we are joining each other to actually give to each other, not really take anything. Whatever learnings we have, right, we are kind of willing to impart that. And to me, oneness is, I think in 2009 I met Sachin sir for the first time, and I remember, मेरा बेटा हुआ, मेरी बेटी हुई, और मैं सर को फोन कर देता कि हाँ सर अब वो स्कैमर कर रही है, अब वो स्कैमर कर रहा है, but he was so open to kind of share his views, and it is 2026 now. So this is what all of us have to carry forward in terms of the bond and in terms of the connection. That कल को आप मुझे फोन करो, कोई expectation ना हो कि मैं आपको रिटर्न में दे पाऊंगा कि नहीं दे पाऊंगा, but at least you will have someone to talk to, right? You will have someone on whose shoulder you can kind of share your experience, and you can aim to or maybe expect to get something in return, even if it is 0.5%. Maybe that is oneness, right? And this is more of a movement, wherein it has to carry on for the rest of the world, because as Dr. Shweta said, that this wiring is going to happen and it's going to continue to happen for generations. So this movement cannot stop, and this idea of oneness has to just continue and continue. I don't know if I said what you were expecting.
Anyone from this side?
Yes, so this oneness has to be practiced daily, because without practice we will not get used to it. So we have to participate in TISA activities daily, so that you remember and practice it daily. So yeah, that's what it is.
What I think is, if you do anything without any expectations, then you become one. If you are one. So, for example, when I landed in USA, somebody picked me up. I didn't even know him, and I never met him. But after some years, I went and picked somebody else. So that moved forward. We were doing it without any expectation.
You want to share something?
Sure. I'll share one thing here. So maybe like the two great things that we are taking back from here, the selfless seva and oneness. That's like really big, really big. So I want to ask one thing from you all, that what's the one thing that you really want? Like, if say you have to just answer the one thing that you really want, what's that?
Peace.
More?
Happiness.
More?
Self-discovery.
So like, mainly when we see the answer, that's happiness. And if you deep dive and then see your day, throughout the day, if you are doing any work, be it doing your job, be it helping your junior, be it doing some work at home, if you change it into selfless seva, then you feel really happy. Else कि junior को कुछ बोल रहे हो, then you are like कि I'm seeing you for 5 minutes, you are not understanding, and then you are feeling so frustrated and like that feeling. So like if we can bring that selfless seva in anything that we are doing. So by oneness, I feel not having the feeling of superiority and inferiority. We are one, we are same. Like say now I am speaking bit fluently than the whole and I feel good. and oh, Dhruv is so fluent, I am not. And then I feel bad. But like Dhruv is having like American accent and I am having a younger one, I'm like, feeling bad. It's like not the having that oneness feeling, it may be lot, and now we have lot many things in the real world, basis how tall you are, like how fair you are, and so on and so forth. But when if we can bring the one, then that one answer that you give happiness. Like we came here to work on our stammering, but we are going back with like a lot of great things of selfless seva and oneness, and all thanks to sir. And now maybe we can go ahead.
I just want to ask one thing. So, what was the title of this keynote address? Does anyone know? Yes, the topic was glue that binds us. So now you know what is the glue which is binding you. It is not stammering, it is oneness. And lastly, I just want to say one thing, that to cultivate this idea of oneness, there are a couple of things which you can do. I don't want to give a long list. Long lists are available on YouTube. Just two things I want to mention. They can really help you to keep in touch with that underlying oneness. And that is meditation. Call it by any name. Call it mindfulness, call it silence, call it tools down, time, whatever you want to call it. But you must go within, only then you will get a glimpse of this oneness, and only then your selfless seva will truly be selfless. Otherwise, some kind of self consideration will enter your activity. And this great man, Swami Udasin, one I asked him, why do I get irritated in social work? Why does it affect me negatively? He said, whenever, if you are doing social work and if you are feeling irritated, burnout, it's a proof that some kind of self consideration has entered your work. So, all of you who are working in TISA, if you ever feel irritated, upset, angry, search your heart. Problem is not with your group, problem is with yourself. Some expectation has entered. I am doing so much for them, I am going them every Saturday and still they don't come Sunday meeting. If you're feeling like this, then revisit your attitude, check your inner feelings, check your commitment, check your understanding, and sort that out. And second thing which you can do to keep in touch with this inner oneness is random acts of kindness. And don't limit yourself only to stammerers and TISA and SLG. Go beyond these limits. Spend your birthday in old folks' homes. Spend your birthday with a box of sweets in some orphanage. Stop your bike and give gift to some old person who is asking some help. Do these kind of things. When you do these things, your consciousness will expand and will become aware of this oneness. And then doing anything for TISA or for others or for society will not be an effort. And today we did this kind of experiment with keynote address. Two of us were here. And in fact, I've been asking about this that all our presentation should be not single presentation, one person coming and talking, but it should be kind of joint effort where two, three people get together and give a joint presentation because we need to learn how to work in teams. So thank you so much. I hope you have understood that the core idea of TISA is not stammering, not fluency, not techniques, not acceptance. It is oneness, which glues all of us together. Thank you so much. So
So actually, it's lunchtime now.
Okay, that's fine. So now, okay.
Sorry, sorry.
So if anyone wants to ask anything, yeah, we will.
I want to
we
add
we will go to you.
तो सर ने अभी पूछा था कि वननेस हम कैसे अपने डे टू डे लाइफ में कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं। तो ये मैं अपनी स्टोरी से आपको समझाना चाहूँगा। 2 साल पहले जब मैं 17 साल का था तो मैं बहुत सारी चीजें एक्सपेक्ट करता था अपने आप से, लोगों से, अपने मम्मी पापा से। और उस समय मैं बहुत मतलब इनफीरियर महसूस करता था कि मेरे पास ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, काश मुझे ये मिल जाए तो मेरे पास बहुत बड़ी शक्ति आ जाएगी, मैं हकलाना भूल जाऊं, मतलब हकलाना हट जाए मेरी लाइफ से, ये कर लूंगा, ये उखाड़ लूंगा। वो ऐसा समय था। फिर धीरे धीरे मैंने ये इंट्रोस्पेक्शन शुरू किया, अपने आप में झांकना शुरू किया, जिसको आत्मालोकन कहते हैं हिंदी में। तो धीरे धीरे मुझे समझ आया कि जब हम किसी से कुछ एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं तो हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशन हमेशा हर्ट होती है। जब भी हम कुछ उम्मीद करते हैं, चाहे वो मम्मी पापा हो, हमारी गर्लफ्रेंड, कोई भी हो, हमेशा हर्ट होता है। तो फिर धीरे धीरे मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि जो मतलब महान आदमी अभी तक हुए हैं वो बहुत बड़े मतलब दानी थे। वो अपनी लाइफ के सबसे बहुत बड़े गिवर्स थे। उनको जब ये एनलाइटनमेंट हुआ कि हाँ असली चीज ये है, तो उन्होंने जितना प्यार हो सकता था वो दुनिया में बांटना शुरू किया। तो अगर आपको वननेस फील करना है तो आपको मतलब आपको दानी बनना पड़ेगा। यू हैव टू बिकम गिवर। आपको किसी से एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं करना है, आप खुद वो दूसरों को दीजिए। जैसे 2 साल पहले मैं सोचता था कि मुझे कोई स्पीच थेरेपी मिल जाए और मेरी ये दिक्कत दूर हो जाए तो स्पीच दूंगा। खैर वो तो समय निकल चुका है। इस 1 साल में मैंने काफी कुछ इम्प्रूव किया है अपनी लाइफ में। मैं अभी दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का 3rd ईयर का स्टूडेंट हूँ श्री वेंकटेश्वर कॉलेज में। और इस 1 साल में मैंने 170 से ज्यादा स्पीच स्टेज पे दी है। और अपने जब मैं फर्स्ट ईयर में था, यानी जब मैं 17 साल का था, तो मैंने सोचा था कि काश मेरा डिबेटिंग सोसाइटी में सिलेक्शन हो जाए तो मैं अलग अलग कॉलेज जाऊंगा। तो फर्स्ट ईयर में नहीं हुआ, उस समय हकलाता भी था और उतना लॉजिकल नहीं था। सेकंड ईयर में मेरे अंदर जुनून सवार था कि मुझे लेट नहीं करना है, क्योंकि अपने काफी सीनियर से मैंने सुना था जो करना है अभी करो, बाद का समय किसी ने नहीं देखना है। तो सेकंड ईयर तक आते आते मैंने अपने डर को डराना शुरू किया। तो मैं जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि लगभग 150 से 170 बार में स्टेज पे जा चुका हूँ। उसमें से 120-130 बार में इतना गंदा हकलाया कि आने के बाद में रोने लगता था कि सूरज तू क्यों बार बार जाके अपनी बेइज्जती करवा रहा है। मुझे याद है जब मैं IIT दिल्ली डिबेट करने के लिए गया था तो अपना इंट्रोडक्शन बोलते बोलते मैं नर्वस हो गया था, अंदर से रोने लगा था। फिर उस समय तक मैं अपने कॉलेज की हिंदी डिबेटिंग सोसाइटी में मैं आ चुका था, लेकिन फिर मैंने छोड़ दिया। फिर मैंने सोचा कि अब मुझे ऐसे ही जाना है, तो उसके बाद मैंने स्वतंत्र होके इंडिपेंडेंटली अभी इतना एक्साइटमेंट हो रहा है कि मैं फिर जुड़ रहा हूँ, तो अपने से मैंने जाना शुरू किया। फिर अभी ऐसे सिचुएशन में प्रेजेंटली मैं अपने कॉलेज की इंग्लिश डिबेटिंग सोसाइटी में हूँ, और इंग्लिश डांस सोसाइटी में और हिंदी डांस सोसाइटी में, और एक हमारे कॉलेज का सेल है ईओसी, इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी सेल, जिसमें स्पेशली एबल्ड स्टूडेंट रहते हैं, उनकी मैं हेल्प करता हूँ। तो ये मैं आपको क्यों बता रहा हूँ, जब आप बहुत बड़े दानी बन जाते हैं, मेरे पास, मैं बहुत बड़ा अमीर खानदान का नहीं हूँ, मैं मिडिल क्लास से आता हूँ, लेकिन मैंने ये चीज को अपना मतलब एक सिद्धांत बना लिया है कि मुझे गिवर बनना है, दानी बनना है, और मेरी जिंदगी काफी बदली है। अभी मैं अपने कॉलेज में एक वो मतलब प्रोफेसर्स मेरे जूनियर्स को बोलते हैं कि इसकी जैसा बनो, जूनियर्स मेरे से हेल्प लेने आते हैं। तो एक रहस्य करके किताब है द सीक्रेट, उसमें मैंने मैनिफेस्टेशन से रिलेटेड बहुत सारी चीजें हैं। उससे ही मैंने सीखी थी कि यूनिवर्स से आप जब स्पिरिचुअली कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं, तो आप जब भी किसी की हेल्प करते हैं, अपने लिए कुछ मैनिफेस्ट करते हैं, साथ में उस पर एक्ट भी करते हैं, तो यूनिवर्स आपको वो सब कुछ देता है। और जब आप किसी की 100% हेल्प करते हैं, यहाँ से मतलब जैसा कि सर ने बताया, आप जब बिना कुछ एक्सपेक्ट किए उसकी हेल्प करते हैं, आपको कुछ उसके बदले में पैसे नहीं मिल रहे हैं, उसकी ओर से कोई आपको अनकंडीशनली वो मतलब रेसिप्रोकेशन नहीं मिल रहा है, तो लेकिन आप ये सब जो भी कुछ कर रहे हैं, आपको यहाँ से सेटिस्फेक्शन मिल रहा है, एक सेंस ऑफ इनर सेटिस्फेक्शन मिल रहा है। जब आप इस मुकाम पे पहुंच जाएंगे, तो आप सबसे खुश रहिएगा, आपको कोई कुछ नहीं भी देगा, तब भी आपका इनर सेटिस्फेक्शन होगा।
Right now we will go for lunch, and
No, two, 2:15, I think 2:15.
Okay,
Give people
so-
45 minutes.
so then our next session will be at 2:15 p.m. So in main hall, this will be in Hindi, in dorm floor number 2. This will be in English.
That's also family and friends session with Jesse.
Okay, so there's a third session also that will be in big room.
On the second.
Which floor? Okay. So then I'll just repeat. There will be 3 sessions. One will be in main hall, Hindi one, ease and empower. The last 2 E. And English one will be in the floor 2 dorms. And the third session will be for family and friends one. That will be in floor 2 big room. And these all will start at 2:15. And we can have a delicious lunch now. There's the one key lost of room number 505. If anyone has got that key, please let us know.
તમારો સન તમારો સન અને સ્ટોપ કરીને ચાલુ કરવા તમને આવડે છે ને તો સ્ટોપ કરી દો એન્ડ કરી દો